Is it weird to be doing a beauty product commentary type video but I'm not wearing any makeup? Nah. Hey guys, it's me and today I'm here with a new installment of my series called Am I Gonna Buy This? A series in which I talk about the new makeup launches and announcements from the past month and talk about whether or not I am interested in picking anything up or if it's just gonna get anti-hauled or am I just gonna completely roast it. I actually filmed this video the other day, but I didn't like how the footage came out because little did I know at the time of when I was filming that video, my body was preparing to go into full vaccine side effects lockdown. So yeah, those Pfizer vaccine second dose side effects are no joke, bitch. I went from being a totally functional human being to being like Terry in Final Destination.
You can just drop fucking dead.
It hit me like a bus out of nowhere. But I'm doing a lot better today though. That was Wednesday. Today is Friday. I'm doing a lot better today, so hopefully I will continue to improve. So yeah, if you guys want to know my thoughts and opinions on these products that launched throughout the month of April and the announcements that happen throughout April, then keep watching. But before we dive into those things, if you guys are new here to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and also while you're down there, definitely give this video a thumbs up because that'll help me out a lot. All my links are down in the description box below. And yeah, let's get started. The first two things that I actually want to talk about are actually more or so, I guess, news related type things. Kind of, sort of, not really. It's more so just like things that I want to address very quickly and briefly in this series, and they are in regards to two different people, one of which is actually James Charles. I'm not going to go in depth about what's going on with him and everything. I just want you guys to know that due to like everything that has been going on, I know I talked about in a previous installment of the series that I was looking forward to possibly checking out his brand whenever it launched, but until further notice, I am not going to be supporting his brand. I just want to go ahead and let you guys know about that. And in a similar note with a brand owner person behaving badly and everything, I talked about Hank and Henry last month, and I do want to mention that similarly with like James's brand, whenever that might wind up happening, I don't know if it's going to be happening anymore at all. But with Hank and Henry, I'm also going to be putting them in timeout and possibly not supporting them at all because some really nasty things came out about them shortly after I posted that video. So yeah, and I just don't feel comfortable with supporting the brand until like a point comes around and I feel comfortable with possibly supporting these brands, then I won't be talking about them anymore. So yeah, just wanted to put that out there before we actually dive on into new product launches, announcements, and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and do those things. I'm going to scooch on over and then we can start talking about these products. The first launch that we're going to be talking about is from Fenty Beauty, and this is the Gloss Bomb Dip. Yeah, it's a no from me, Chief. Some people that thought that this was like an April Fool's joke, but it's definitely not. This is a legit product that they launched. And I honestly don't know why they did. Like, it's a cute idea, but no. Next up, we have a new launch from Milk Cosmetics, and this is the MaryJane collection. So this is another weed collection that they have launched. I think this is the third one that they've done. And honestly, this one is like my least favorite of the ones that they have done because it's just really boring. It's just like a smoky eye palette and then some like smoky tone pots, like cream pots. I don't know if they're gel liners or what, because this particular post that I have here doesn't have like product descriptions or anything like that. I just don't like it. It's just not for me. The packaging is really interesting, I will give it that, but I mean the products themselves just aren't for me, so it's a no. Okay, next up we have to talk about this travesty, and it's making me really worried about what's going to be coming in June. But this is the Gemstone of the Month palette from BH Cosmetics, and it is for Diamond, which is for the month of April. I hate this. I don't like this at all. Like, I don't get why there are like this orange and peach shade in here. Like, it's so far like it's gone in like the route of like monochromatic and everything. I wish they would have just stuck with that instead of throwing in these random two like neutral shades and everything. Like, it just bothers me. I know Angelica Nyquist talked about this in her what's up in make not what's up in makeup and her going on the wish list or not video when this palette came out. Like, she had talked about how like there's so much they could have done with this palette because there's so many different types of diamonds out there and everything, but I do not like this. I do not like this. Next up, we have a new launch from Rare Beauty, and they have two new products. We have the Always an Optimist Weightless Eyeshadow Primer, and then we have the Discovery Eyeshadow Palette and True to Myself. This eyeshadow palette, although the color story is nothing revolutionary, it's a basic bitch juice palette. I really do like the packaging. I really like how the palette is laid out and everything. I think that that's really interesting. It's different and whatnot. It's just that I'm not a fan of the color story. It's just not for me. I mean, I'm curious to see like what all else they bring out with this type of palette layout and everything. And maybe they'll branch out into doing colors. Who knows? I don't think they probably will, because from what I've seen from Rare Beauty, it just seems like a big theme for them is to do like more like natural everyday type of stuff. So I don't think they'll do anything too extravagant, but I'd like to see it. Next up, we have one of many launches from ColourPop in this video, and this is the Feather Effect line from ColourPop, and they have two products in here. We have the Feather Effect Styling Wax and then the Feather Effect Brow Brush. But this is, I'm guessing, like their take on like the soap brow trend, I guess, that's going around and everything. We have like two different ones. We have them in clear and tinted. These names, ColourPop, they're so original and so revolutionary. I love them so, so much. If it's something for you, then it's for you. It's definitely not for me, though. Actually, that reminds me, I need to groom my brows. I haven't groomed my brows in like 3 weeks, so I need to do that. Next up, we have a collection from Wet n Wild, which Wet n Wild is still a brand that I am extremely hesitant about supporting. I know they're still theoretically speaking cruelty-free, but because of the fact that their cruelty-free status is constantly in jeopardy, it makes me hesitant to still purchase from them. But I want to talk about this collection because it is a level of chaos that I am not comfortable with. This is their collaboration with Spongebob, and next up, we have another launch from BH Cosmetics, and this is the Remix Dance Collection. We have 3 different eyeshadow palettes, and there's also a brush set in here as well, but we're mainly going to be focusing on these eyeshadow palettes. We have the 90s, the 80s, and the 2000s, or the aughts, whatever you want to refer to it as. The only one that seems like true to the time period, to me at least, is the 80s, because the 90s just has like a bunch of like pastels and everything. Like the 90s palette looks more so like what the 2000s should be. Because when I look at this 2000s palette, it looks more so like something that came about in like the very late 2000s, early 2010s. If I'm gonna get any of these, I'll probably get like the 80s palette, but I don't know if I will. Next up, we got a collection from Sleek, which is a brand that I don't ever hear about very much. I know they're a brand that's based in Europe, more specifically, I believe they're based in the UK, but I know they like made their way into the US a couple of years ago, but I think they're probably going to be pulling out of Ulta soon. I don't know why. I just get this feeling that they're going to be pulling out soon. But I know that they made like big waves within like the US beauty scene with, I think it's their Solstice highlighter palette, I think is what it was called. But anyways, this collection is their spring collection, and it is the Control Alt collection. And in here we have 3 different products. We have the Control Alt Create eyeshadow palette. We have the Control Alt Glow highlighting palette, and then the Control Alt Glaze Lip Volve lip gloss. So I am going to say this, none of these items are really anything that I'm going to like go after and whatnot, but it's still a cute and fun little collection. I like how it looks and everything. The highlighter palette is definitely not for me and whatnot, because I've tried like the colored highlighter look on myself. It's not for me. I used to be really into the idea of taking part in it, but then when I actually tried it, I was just like, ew, maybe not. But I will say this though, like there is like a photo, I'm guessing, of like the box that the palette comes in. And let me just tell you this, I really like that box. If that's the box that the palette comes in, that's a fun little box. And then we got another launch from ColourPop. This is the Sweet Life collection. And we have 6 different quads, and each quad includes 2 mattes, a metallic, and a glitter metallic. I don't know if they're actually like pressed glitters or if they're kind of like a glitter shadow type of product, like a really sparkly shadow. I really don't know, and honestly I really don't care because these are not like quads that I would go after. Next up we have a new launch from Hipdot, and this is their collaboration with Reese's. I'm gonna say this, and this is probably gonna be a very controversial thing to say, but I actually don't really care for Reese's. I will eat the minis. I'll eat the mini peanut butter cups, but anything else from Reese's I do not like. Big reason for that is because I don't like peanut butter anymore like that. Like I can have it in like the mini cups and everything because those are like a smaller amount of peanut butter, and I find that it's like a nice ratio between peanut butter and the chocolate. But everything else though is just way too much peanut butter for me. But this little collection, it's cute and all, but it's definitely not something for me. So I'm just gonna stay away from it. We have another brand that I don't hear about very often anymore either, and that is Illamasqua. And in here we have the color correcting bronzer and then the Hydra Lip Tints. And these are really interesting products because they have, like when it comes to the lip tints, it's like 2 separate colors in the tube. So it's like one of those types of things where it's just like, it's 2 different colors in the tube, and then when you apply it on, it's just gonna make like its own custom little color due to like color theory and whatnot. These color correcting bronzer palettes though, these are very interesting. Don't necessarily get it. I mean, I do get it, but at the same time, I don't. Because it's just like, bronzer is designed to warm up the face, yet you have like this tealy blue pastel color going on in here that claims to be like a color corrector, but that's just going to neutralize the warmth from the bronzer, I think. I don't understand what's supposed to be happening here. I don't know. I know Angelica talked about this in one of her videos, but this is like a type of product that requires a particular level of like knowledge to understand and to be able to make it work. But I am not that person that could make this sucker work. I remember hearing a lot of people talking about Illamasqua though back in the day, because I remember they made like a dip into like the US market several years ago. I don't know if they're still available here in the US. I know like the details on the post and everything have them listed in USD, but I know that this is like a brand that's like based in like, I think they're based in the UK. They might just be throughout all of Europe though. Next up we got another launch from ColourPop, and they have some more 5-pan palettes, and these are not of a particular collection it seems, but these are some like bright colorful palettes, and these are actually really fun. But I will say this though, the only one that really calls out to me though is the green one, High Society. The rest of them are nice and all, but they don't call to me like that green palette does. So I don't know if I'll pick it up. I might sometime in the future, but as for right now, it's not really something that I'm going to go after. Next up we have a new palette from Linda Hallberg, and this is the Color palette. Such an original name for a palette, but honestly though, the packaging on this palette and the fact that it's full of like these matte bright shadows and like a couple of neutrals, I'm actually interested in this. I've been wanting to try Linda Hallberg for quite some time now because like she has a lot of interesting products, but I don't know when or if I will be able to get this because I don't know how much her products actually cost here in the US because she is based in Sweden. And I also don't know what sellers based here in the US sell Linda Hallberg, so I'm not entirely sure. But I'll also say this, the names of the shadows, so revolutionary and original. I generally just talk about like makeup within the series, but occasionally I'll dip into like skincare and fragrance and things like that, and like lifestyle type things. But I want to talk about this because there are a few scents here that intrigue me. This is a new collection from Malone, and this collection is inspired by the British love of jam making. And so like these different like fragrances are inspired by different like jams that you would find in a British pantry. The concept behind it is so odd to me, but I think the reason why that's the case is because I'm an American, so who knows. But out of the 5 scents that they have available, like I think like 3 of them like interest me, but of those 3, 2 of them really do. The 3 that really call out to me are Rose Blush, Tangy Rhubarb, and Orange Peel, and the 2 of those 3 that really call out to me are Rose Blush and Orange Peel, because I do like citrusy scents and I do really enjoy rose, so I'm definitely going to keep my eyes out for them. I might get them sometime in the future. I don't know. I'd have to like do like a little sniff test and everything, maybe, if that's even allowed right now during the pandemic, Lovato. I know you can't like swatch products in store, but I don't know if you can do like sniff tests of like fragrances. Probably not, but you never know. Next up we have a new launch from Trixie Cosmetics, and this is the Bottle Blonde collection. And in here we have the Bottle Blonde eyeshadow palette, then we have like 4 lip glosses, and they are in the shades Hater, I'm Baby, which honestly I really like this one, but mostly because of like the name I'm Baby. I just love the name of it. But the other shades we have are High Ponytail and Press On. And then we have like the Bottle Blonde accessory pack, a pink handheld mirror. You can also, for the first time ever, actually buy like the PR box. You can buy the PR box if you want to. There's also a scrunchie set and a Bottle Blonde crew neck sweatshirt. This isn't for me. This isn't for me. Like, I do want to try out Trixie Cosmetics sometime in the future. I'm just waiting for the right products to come out for me to be like, let me try this stuff out. Because as of right now, there's only but one product from the brand that I want, and that is the Red Scare lipstick. And that's the only thing that I want from this brand as of right now. Next up, we got another brand that I rarely ever hear about, and that is Besame. I haven't heard about this brand in a very long time, but then again, I only ever really heard but 2 people really talk about this brand often, and those were Cora Diane, aka Vintage or Tacky, and then the Cherry Doll Face. And for those of you who don't know about Besame, they are a brand whose aesthetic is centered around like retro vintage beauty, and it's very like pin-up old Hollywood type of an aesthetic. And they have released the Marilyn Monroe collection. And here we have like lipsticks, lip liners, eyeliners. There's a highlighter in here, and there's also a shadow quad. There's some lashes. It's a well thought out collection, and the packaging is really beautiful. It's just not something that is for me. But I know that there are probably going to be a lot of people that will be interested in this. But then again, like I said, Besame is not a brand that I rarely ever hear about. So I don't know if I'm ever going to hear anybody talk about it, like, and actually using it. Okay, we gotta talk about this travesty. Anastasia, what is going on over there? This looks like something that should have came out in like 2016. What is happening over there at ABH? Like, for the longest, like, they were so like iconic and were just like setting trends and just at the top of the food chain, but something happened. Things are just getting weird over there. I mean, like, they launched some like makeup wipes, I think it was like earlier this month or right at the end of last month. I didn't talk about them in last month's video or in this video because it's just their makeup wipes, but it's just like, what is happening over there? Next up, we got another collection from ColourPop, and these are their cheek quads. So we have 5 different quads here, and they have blush and highlighters in them. There are 3 different finishes. We have the Super Shock highlighter, a matte pressed powder blush, and then a satin pressed powder blush. And these are going to be a lot larger than like the shadow quads because I mean they're face palettes. These are cute and fun, but they are definitely not products that I am going to go after. I've talked about this before. I am more of a cream product person when it comes to face products. I do use powder products from time to time, but generally speaking, I do prefer cream products, especially for blush. And I also do prefer like cream, liquid, balmy type of highlighters as well, because I find that those don't emphasize texture nearly as much as powder ones do. Next up, we have a new collection from Kaleidos, and this is the Flower Punk collection, and this is their little spring collection that they have. In here we have the eyeshadow palette, we have the Cloud Lab lip clays, which there are 2 sets of 4 of them. It's a new matte lip formula that is described to be soft and fluffy with the cool, spreadable, moisturizing character of clay. And then there's also a Blue Agave lip mask. And there's possibly some other products in here as well, but that's all that is like mentioned here on the listing here on Trend Mood. And this is a cute little collection and a cute little palette. I don't think I'll get this palette though. I will say this though, I did like earlier this week get the Club Nebula palette. I bought it during like the last restock, and honey, I'm so glad that I was able to get it. But I'll tell you this much, I wish that I would have waited till like the following morning to get it, because I stayed up till like 11 to get that palette, because it was 11 p.m. Eastern time when it launched and everything. And I wish I would have just waited till the following morning, because it was still available the following morning. But I just wanted to make sure, because I know when the initial launch and like the first little restock that they did, it sold out really quickly both of those times. So I wanted to make sure that I could actually get it this time. But then too, like during those first 2 launches, I was on a no buy. So there was also that, but I made sure to get it and I got it. I haven't played with it yet, but I do plan on playing with it soon. Okay, so next up, we're going to be talking about a brand that I don't ever talk about because I don't like this brand, but I just want to talk about this launch because I absolutely despise it, and I'm just going to show it to you guys, mention what it is, and then we're going to move on. But it is a collection from Morphe, and it is the Morphe X Coca-Cola collection. I fucking despise this. Let's move on to the last launch that we are going to be talking about, and it is from Juvia's Place, and this is the Bronzed collection. In here we have the Bronze Rustic Eyeshadow Palette, which is a 6-pan palette, and then we have the Bronze Duo Bronzers, and we have, I believe 5? Yeah, there are 5 of these in here, and they come in deep dark, dark, tan, medium, and light. And then we have the bronzed lip glosses, then we have the bronzed mini liquid lipsticks, and then lastly we have the bronzed lip liners. I don't think I'm gonna pick up anything from this. If I do, I'll probably get like the white bronzer duo maybe, but other than that, I don't see myself getting anything else from this collection. I will say this though, I really like the packaging on this collection. The packaging on this collection is really cool and interesting. I really like it. It's just that I'm not entirely sure if these are like the types of items that I necessarily need to go after, so yeah. And you guys, I am shocked, but we are done and I haven't even hit 40 minutes yet on this recording. I am so proud of myself right now. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Did you guys pick up any of the things that I talked about in this video? Are there items that you're anti-hauling? Are there items that you are enjoying or that you want to pick up? Let me know in the comments below. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about these things. And yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until I see you guys in my next one, whenever the hell that may be, goodbye.